through 200,000 years of evolution, you have literally been programmed to fear approaching strange women. So if you approach the wrong girl, you could literally be ostracized. Women had the power to get men killed. And this is why, deep in your lizard brain, you have the fear of rejection. So forgive yourself, it is completely natural, but it doesn't really apply anymore. In today's society, things have completely changed. If you get rejected by a girl, it literally doesn't matter. Hear me out. What you do is you get rejected on purpose, making it into a game. This rejection maxing is insanely effective. Do not sleep on this. Use it as soon as possible. This will change your game.
Welcome to the Unapologetic Man Podcast, the only podcast that's all about self-improvement, confidence, success, women, and being a man without making any apologies for it.
Here's something you may not know. The reason why you have approach anxiety, the reason why you fear rejection is because you're supposed to fear rejection, you idiot. And the reason it happens is because through 200,000 years of evolution, you have literally been programmed to fear approaching strange women. Why is that? We used to live in tribal communities. When we did, your reputation was literally everything. This too, by the way, is why you fear what people think about you. But your reputation was everything. So if you approach the wrong girl, say the girl of the head warrior or the girl of the chief or the chief's daughter, and she rejected you, you could literally be ostracized. Women had the power to get men killed. And this is why, once again, deep in your lizard brain, you have the fear of rejection. You could literally get hit over the head with a rock, lose your life, be ostracized. The tribe, for example, ostracizes you. You have to live on your own. You don't have the hunters to go hunting with. You don't have the women gathering. You don't have safety anymore, and you could die. So, first of all, brothers, the most important thing about overcoming the fear of rejection is understanding that you should have the fear of rejection. It is completely natural. Even with me, sometimes when I see a hot girl, especially if I'm not warmed up, I get nervous. I get the fear of rejection. I too, boys, have approach anxiety. So the first step is to forgive yourself. This is totally natural. In fact, if you don't have approach anxiety, I think you might be a sociopath. You might be a little bit twisted in your brain. So forgive yourself. Be happy you have it. It has kept you safe. Now, obviously, and hopefully you know what I'm going to say here, in today's society, things have completely changed. If you get rejected by a girl, it literally doesn't matter. Your reputation probably isn't going to be affected unless, of course, you do it inside work or you do it inside a friend group. But usually we're at like nightclubs, or for most of you guys, you hide behind the dating apps. So a girl rejecting you really doesn't matter that much. And for example, you go to a nightclub, you get rejected by 20 different girls, you come home at night and you're like, oh, I'm not dead. I didn't get hit over the head with a rock. I didn't get ostracized or a fucking arrow in my back, nor did the alpha male take me into the bathroom and butt me and leave a used condom in my butt. You understand that, oh, fear of rejection really doesn't apply today. It's a tribal community adaptation that was there to keep you safe back then. Are we living in tribes today? Obviously not. Is our survival completely dependent upon our reputation? Obviously not. So we have to understand that we have evolved past needing certain things in our DNA. You have that in your DNA to keep you safe, but it doesn't really apply anymore. It's kind of like the fear of the dark when you walk into a dark room. You know why we have the fear of dark, right? It's because when we lived in tribal communities, when we were in tribes in Africa, if you went out at night in the dark, a lion would probably eat you. But does that apply when you're walking into your room at night? No, it doesn't. But do you sometimes still have that fear of the dark? Of course you do. I admit it, man. Coming down into my basement when it's completely dark, even though I know it's safe, it's kind of scary. That's mapped into our lizard brain from, again, 200,000 years of evolution. But do we let it stop us from walking into a dark room? Of course not. And nor should you let the fear of rejection stop you from opening a girl, even though it seems totally real to you. See, I just gave you a logical explanation of something that completely doesn't make sense, proving to you that in today's society, it really doesn't matter. Outside of like friend groups or like work groups, if you go to a nightclub and get rejected by 10 girls, it literally does not matter. yet you're still afraid of it, aren't you? You could say to me, yeah, it's a good argument, bro. I see where you're coming from, but it doesn't help in any way whatsoever because it's ingrained deep inside your brain. It's literally in your DNA. And to fight DNA level change, we have to do two things. First of all, we have to remap belief systems, and that's exactly what I do in my program. I use NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, to remap those belief systems so you no longer buy into it. I reshape schemas so you no longer behave with that fear which is in your DNA. But secondly is getting experience. So today we're going to talk about rejection maxing. In addition to this, I'm going to give you some bonus material that will also help you with your fear of rejection. So make sure to stay tuned until the end. I got tons to drop on you boys, so let's get into it. Rejection maxing is exactly as it sounds. It's a trend that's been happening in the seduction space for the past couple years, but I've been doing this with my clients for over 2 decades, never talked about it on the podcast. What you do is you get rejected on purpose. Hear me out. You literally try to get rejected, and you do this with your friends, and you make it into a competition. See who can get the most rejections in one night by being completely stupid, completely silly, trying to get rejected. What this does is it reshapes how you feel about rejection, because a lot of you guys are terrified of it. You don't want it to happen. But what if you flip the script and actually want it to happen? Go out with the fun mentality, having a competition, laughing, making a big fucking game of it. One of the best ways to overcome your fears is systematic exposure, but also by making something serious into something silly. Make it into a big fucking game. And this is so effective when it comes to rejection. You could go up to a girl and pretend that you're low value. Be like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Your eyes are literally the gates to heaven itself. Did it hurt? And she's like, did what hurt? You'd be like, falling from heaven. Are you tired? Because you've been running through my mind the whole day. And she's like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. Get away from me. And you're laughing. And you go back to your boys and you high five. And here's the thing, boys. We have done this hundreds of times. And you know what usually happens? She doesn't reject us because she thinks it's fucking funny. But that's not the point. We're not trying to trick her into approving of us. We are literally trying to go get rejected. We are literally trying to go be told no. I went and saw a METALLICA concert the other day. It was fucking awesome. And I really wanted to get into the mosh pit, but my buddy only had tickets for kind of like up in the seats, right? So I'm like, I don't give a shit, dude. I've been rejected so many times. I'm going to try. So I convinced the first guard to let me down to the main floor. I convinced the second guard to let me get into the seats right by the mosh pit. And there was one more person. And I'm like, hey, man, I'm just going to be honest with you. I have tickets for up there, but dude, I want to get in the mosh pit so bad. I've been listening to Metallica since like 1982. Please let me into the mosh pit. Would it be cool if I went into the mosh pit? Just let me in there. And he's like, nah, man, I'm sorry. I can't. You need to get a wristband. So I got rejected. He didn't let me in. But it's like when you've been rejected so many times, you're willing to try things. So how often do you, and I'm talking to you listening, how often do you ask for discounts? How often do you ask to park in a parking space where you're not supposed to, say at an event or something like that? How often do you try to get into the mosh pit at the METALLICA concert? How often do you purposely go get rejected by girls? I can guarantee you that last one, almost none of you have done this. And I want to ask you, is your life up to the standard that you want it to be up to? Do you have what you really want to have? Do you get what you really want to get? I do this thing all the time that makes Marissa mortified. And what I do is when there's a huge line that I don't want to wait in, I go to the very front, just politely excusing myself. Hey guys, sorry about this. My buddy's up there. My friend's up there. Once I get to the front, I pick somebody who looks like they can be easily convinced. I go up to him and I'm like, hey, what's up, man? How you been? And he's like, good. And he's kind of wondering like who I am. And I'm like, hey, listen, me, my wife, and my little girl are here. She's 6 years old. She will never wait in this line. She will absolutely crucify me, her dad, if I make her wait in this line. Would it be too much to ask to give you $20 to just wait with you? Would that be cool, man? Would that be okay? And guys, 99% of the time, in fact, I don't think I've ever been rejected. They say yes. They're like, yeah, that's cool. Bam, kick them $20. Save me and my family a fucking hour of waiting in line. How many people are willing to do that? I can tell you Marissa, who usually is pretty bold, she's mortified when I do that because she has it in her head. Don't get rejected. Follow the rules. Don't rock the boat. In order to get good with women, and I'm going to tell you this, in order to be good in life, to be successful, you have to be willing to push the envelope. You have to be willing to break the rules. And yes, boys, you have to be willing to get rejected. How do you think I feel walking to the very front of the line and homeboy could reject me? I don't give a shit. I'll just ask the person behind him. I'll be like, hey, this guy was kind of angry. He told me no, but here's my situation. Dude, they always say yes. When you're willing to put social pressure on yourself, when you're willing to go purposely get rejected, when you're willing to risk it, knowing it means nothing about your self-worth or your confidence is tied into it, it means fucking nothing. Your life is going to explode in ways I can't even explain to you. So again, how do we hack the system? Rejection maxing. Go get rejected on purpose. Ask for a discount at Walmart. They're obviously going to tell you no. Ask for somebody to have their car. Just be like, hey, bro, could I have your car? The thing's awesome, man. Could you give it to me? They're going to say no. It's so obvious you're going to get rejected that you hack the fear of being rejected. You get rejected, laughing about it, and you realize that rejection really doesn't matter. Then you could go into, say, for an example, a nightclub and compete with your boys to get rejected by the most women possible. I am going to get rejected by 20 chicks tonight. I swear I'm going to win this contest. Your buddy's like, no, man, I'm going to get 25. And you guys purposely get rejected. Now you're sitting there like, well, what if the bouncers get mad or people get upset with me? F what they think, guys. You are way too externally validated. Who cares what this idiot who you'll never see again thinks of you? And that's everybody in the nightclub. Who cares if you're at Starbucks and you're like, hey, could I get like 2 free coffees, please? Just like give them to me for free. Just like throw them into my bag. Would that be cool? Just like 2 free ones and maybe a scone too. Could I get that scone for free? She's obviously going to say no. Who cares what this like high school student behind the Starbucks counter actually thinks of you? You guys are placing way too much importance on what people think of you. And once you start doing rejection maxing, getting rejected on purpose, making it into a game, competing to see who can get rejected more than the other guy, you will have power over rejection. So that's my challenge for you. Can you go out and try to get rejected as many times as you can this week? Can you go out and get the biggest no you've ever heard before by acting low value? Can you pretend that this is just a game and nothing actually matters and go fucking have fun with it? Have fun being rejected? Yeah, boys, that's hacking the system. That's getting power over that which used to have power over you, isn't it? Making it into a game, seeing it doesn't matter, getting power over it. And this actually goes into one of the biggest secrets that I'm about to share with you of how to get over the fear of rejection, making it into a game that I'm going to share with you in a minute. But first, boys, you have to listen to this coaching client that just graduated last night. This is a pure testament to the efficacy of my program. So listen to this real quick. This is from Julian. Check out what he has to say. And if you're interested, click the link below to apply for my 3-month coaching program. I'm going to be honest with you guys. We have more applicants than spots available in the program. It is competitive to get into this program. We have so much demand. There's so much social proof. What I do is so fucking effective, turning guy after guy after guy into bona fide girl magnets that honestly, we have more demand than we have supply. But here's the deal. If you're serious about getting good with women, if you're willing to put in the fucking work, I want to work with you. You think, oh shit, it's competitive to work with Mark. The only thing that's competitive is your enthusiasm and your commitment to get better with women. If you're that guy, you need to apply right now. Show me that, dude, I'm fucking ready to get the results that guys like Julian, who you're about to hear from, are getting. Imagine if you too could get these results. Imagine if this is you speaking, if you had this experience. Go ahead, Liam, cue it up.
And I did everything you said. I went on the first date, did botanical gardens, just made out with her. It's like, hey, let's get you home. Right. And I got her to beg. I could not believe it. I just went down her outline, man. And by, a couple hours in, she was like, can we go to your house? Can I go with you? Can we go? And then we went to my house. I said, we're not going to have sex. We're not going to, you're going to have to give me a couple steak dinners before we get there. I started right out on the app like that, did the video call, read down the outline. She's begging to be at my house, begging to have sex with me. And so I was like, whatever, man, I didn't think it was going to be serious anyway. But anyway, just reading down your outline, constantly pushing back, doing that 80-100. She's like, I can't believe this. I feel like I have to work for you. I feel like you're the prize. I've never dated a guy like, and the girl's nuts about me. She's like sending me photos and stuff all day. So it totally works.
So you heard it there, boys, a real testimonial from a real client. And to be honest with you, I get these every fucking coaching call. I'm just too damn lazy to go find them, to tell Liam, like, Liam, cut it out from minute 36 to minute 38 and put this part in and that part in. It's kind of a hassle. And honestly, it's like when I have more demand than I have supply, I'm not always motivated to share with you all the testimonials I get. I mean, I'm looking at my desktop right now. Literally, I can't even see the background because there's screenshot after screenshot. Every single fucking guy who comes in my program gets the results. Why you haven't applied yet is beyond me. I'm going to say one last thing about this. This will not be here forever. I am a limited time resource. I'm not going to do this for the rest of my life. So if you've been thinking about it, it's time to or get off the pot. Imagine if you could get the same results that all my guys do. 10x in your results with women, having sexual choice, being like Julian, where girls are begging to have sex with him. Have you had that before? Maybe with a sea donkey or a canyon mule, but not with a really hot girl, which is what I know you really want. Let me give you that power with NLP, with the tactics, with this coaching program, which in my opinion only comes around once in a generation. I have found the Goldilocks zone, boys. I've found the Midas touch to turn guy after guy into girl magnets. And I want to do that with you too. Let's meet, man. Let's talk. Put in your application. We're not pushy. I just want to speak to you to see if I can get you the same results I get for all my guys. All right. My final tip is this. What we used to do, and this is so effective, is we used to take on a different persona, go out to a different city where we will never see those people again, and just act completely crazy. I would always be this guy, Shane, and I would be a professional surfer from Hawaii, visiting, say, for example, California, or we used to do this in Arizona. We would go to a completely different city, like a nightclub that's an hour away. And I would take on the persona so much, in fact, that I would act completely different. My accent would be a little bit different. What I talk about would be different. And now you've hacked the system of your own mind, allowing yourself to approach hot girls, knowing that if you get rejected, it doesn't fucking matter because it's not really you. And that's what your mind is going to think. It's going to think, well, I'm pretending to be somebody else. I'm acting like somebody else. So that persona is what got rejected. I didn't get rejected. That persona did. And it allows you to practice approaching and talking to women without any repercussions. If you get rejected, it's the persona that got rejected. It's not you. If something goes wrong, well, you were just acting anyway. So it kind of allows you to embody an avatar that will have an experience that you can view from a disassociated state, meaning it's not really you. You're kind of watching this actor experience different things with women, but it's not really you. So if he gets rejected, it doesn't really matter. So doing the avatar technique, which again is taking on a different persona. Sometimes I'd even wear like a cowboy hat and talk in a real Southern accent, saying that I was a saddle man from Colorado, and go approach girls, not giving a what happens because it's the persona that got rejected. It wasn't you. And then rejection maxing, which I challenge all you boys to do this week. Go out with your friends, get rejected as much as possible, and whoever gets rejected the most gets dinner bought for them the next night or gets all his drinks bought for him that night. Whatever you guys can figure out, go get rejected. You're going to find it so fun. It's so funny. You're going to think of the most random shit to say to girls that's just going to crack you up. You guys are going to have such a fun time. And I'm not promising you anything because this isn't why I want you to do this. But I'm going to let you know that a lot of sets will blow open. Because when you go up, not caring what happens, trying to get rejected, there's that element of being outcome independent, not caring what happens, right? And not caring what happens is extremely attractive. So in a way, this is actually kind of an effective technique where you go up to her and you're like, damn girl, you're so beautiful. Your butt cheeks are the gates to heaven itself. Could I have your phone number? Could I take you out? I just really want to hang out with you. She's going to feel that you're being playful. You don't fucking care what happens. The only thing you care about is getting rejected, which is like the opposite of you caring about it going good. What gets us blown out oftentimes? Caring about it going good. So when you have that vibe, it'll often blow up for you. You'll like yank phone numbers and you'll be like, God damn it, I lost. And you're going to have to buy your buddy Denny's that night after you go to the nightclub because you yanked 5 phone numbers and he only got 4, but he got rejected 20 times and you only got rejected 15. I'm telling you, boys, this rejection maxing is insanely effective. Do not sleep on this. Use it as soon as possible. This will change your game. So guys, listen, while it is competitive to get into my program, I do sometimes get what I call crapplicants, which are guys who are kind of just like kicking tires, not super into it, not really committed. So if you're committed, if you're ready to change your life at the end of 2025 and go into 2026, knowing that you can approach any girl, anytime, anywhere, I'm here for you. As I've told you, I feel that this is a generational program. I have mixed the magic of NLP with the magic of my techniques, most of which I hide from you on this podcast and only give to my guys in my program, as Julian was talking about. And that magic formula turns guy after guy after guy into girl magnet. What would happen if you could have those results too? Maybe you've thought to yourself, I'll never hire a dating coach. Maybe you're too cheap up until this point to actually invest in yourself. The smartest investment you'll ever make is the investment in yourself. And the most important decision you ever make is the woman you choose to spend your life with. You need to have the power to get the highest quality woman possible, because if you don't, the wrong woman will ruin your fucking life. So get sexual choice, have sex with tons of girls, and then pick your queen from abundance, not from scarcity. I could give you that power. Apply right now, boys. I'd love to talk to you. All right, guys, I do appreciate you listening. As a reminder, I drop podcasts on Mondays and Thursdays, so please stay tuned for the next one, and I will see you in the next episode.